呪術廻戦
Okay, let's read chapter 155 of Jujutsu Kaisen, Wanetsu. Wanetsu. This, I don't think is an actual word, but it is like fevered talk, passionate talk, hot talk, that sort of a thing. Netsu was applied to Hakari here as his sort of like passion, heat, fever, excitement, that sort of a thing. And this is a recap of how the previous chapter ended. Itarori. 一日1時間あることをするだけで月収100万円にって言われて信じるか? So, Itarori, 1 day, 1 hour existing event, just doing that. So with just 1 hour a day, towards 110,000 yen per month. If that being said, will you believe or would you believe? So basically, would you believe if I told you you could make 110,000 yen in 1 month by just working 1 hour a day? And again, 110,000 would be 1,000,000 yen a month, which is like $10,000. Huh? それはあること次第だろ? As for that, meaning as for what you just said, it depends. Shidai on arukoto, right? So again, by just this event of that. So it depends on what, basically, dependent upon arukoto. だが、そのあることを知るには well, or but, that arukoto, as for to knowing what arukoto is, 20万の情報商材を買わなきゃならん. Must buy information materials at 10,000 yen. So 200,000 yen. So earn 1,000,000 and buy 20,000 or 200,000. Joho Shozai. Shozai in this case, again, is just like ingredients or a product. Yeah. So he's basically saying you must buy an information product at 200,000 yen. Sounds like a pyramid scheme. それは信じられないな. Well, as for that thing, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Like I don't believe it. So, お前が感じ通り. So yeah, it is that, right? So indeed, it's according to your feeling. So just like you felt. これは典型的な詐欺だ. As for this thing, it is a 典型的. An archetypal, the epitome of a sagi. No. Yeah, no, it's sagi. Fraud. So it's the archetype. This thing is the archetype, an archetype fraud, the model of fraud. 騙す側は金持ちを装って金持ちのなり方を売り金を手に入れる. So, as for the side of the deceiving, so the deceiver, 装って. pretending to dress. I was wondering why I forgot that it's also to dress and to pretend. Pretending to be rich. As for the side of the deceiving, pretending to be rich, and the rich's becoming side, selling money, obtaining. Oh, no. Way to become rich, not the narikata. So the way of becoming rich, selling, obtaining money. Yeah. So the deceiver basically pretends to be rich and sells a method, the way of becoming rich, thus obtaining money. Or no. It's obtaining money on how to become rich. Urikane. This is a little bit confusing. Kane o te ni ireru, being able to get money on selling the way of becoming rich. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is the side of the deceiver pretending to be rich and getting money by selling the way of becoming rich. 普通考えればわかることがだが、騙されるアホはアホほどいる。Okay, so normally if you think about it, or normally if think, understanding event it is. But being deceived morons, as for that, it's morons to the extent existing. I guess like, so if you think about it for a moment, it's normal, like it all makes sense that it's a fraud. But as for idiots who are deceived, it's to the extent of idiots existing, I guess. Yeah, we'll just go with that. なぜか why それはすべて熱のせいさ why is it as for that thing, meaning this whole story, all of it is due to the fault of netsu. And again, I already said this at the beginning, netsu is this passion, fever, heat. Netsu. 騙す側も騙される側も持っている So the deceiving side and also the being deceived side possessing. So both sides have it. Netsu. ここで人生変えてやろうって熱さ They have the netsu, the fever, the heat, the passion called in this place, like I guess my life will change, won't it? Or like let's change my life, like right here. That's the fever. That's the passion. Oh, this is morbid. 熱に浮かされて人は判断を誤る. As for people being floating in netsu, so as for the people who are like caught up floating in this fever, this passion, they make mistakes in judgment. Handan o ayamaru. Daga, however, netsu ga nakareba hito wa koi hito. No, koi hitotsu dekinai. However, netsu, if it doesn't exist for people, or as for people that netsu doesn't exist, koi hitotsu dekinai, they're not able to like love. Koi hitotsu. So Something about love is not possible. I'm not sure why hitotsu. Okay, I don't know. This almost feels like a typo, where it was supposed to be koibito or koihito, like a lover is not possible. Well, whatever. Something about love is not possible for people that, like, where netsu does not exist. And again, we get this sort of horrific image. 俺は熱を愛してる. As for me, doing love of netsu. So I love fever, heat, passion. Yori directo na netsu no yaritori. Yaritori. Giving and exchange. Giving and taking. Exchange. Okay. I guess like from that, a direct netsu, giving and taking. Directo. A giving and taking, an exchange of netsu, of direct netsu. Nani ka wakaru ka? Something do you understand? Do you understand something of the exchange of direct netsu? Gyamburu? Okay, so the kanji here is kake, like to gamble. And he says gamble. Gyamburu? Ku. That's laughing. Yappari omae wa wakatteru. As I thought, as for you, understanding. So I thought you knew. Ikiru koto wa gyamburu da. As for the event of living, it is a gamble. So living is a gamble. Kakegoto o keno shite ore o futta onna wa yama hodo iru ga. Okay. This is like ken o suru is to detest, to despise. Okay. Futta onna is like ex-women, ex-girlfriends. Like women that have dumped me. As for women that have dumped me, hating gambling itself, it's like mounds, heaps. There's mountains of women who have dumped me for hating gambling, or because they hate gambling. Yamahodo. Yeah. A heap. Yatsu. Good timing. Yatsura wa konbon o machigaeteru. As for them, these women, they are making a mistake, a fundamental mistake. They are mistaking the fundamentals. Konbon. Konpon. Konpon. They're mistaking the origin, the root, the foundation. この社会は大きく張れないやつと引き際をいらないやつから振り落とされていく。As for this society, guys or things that don't like do their best largely. 大きく張れないやつ。Big 張れない。Not sticking, not stretching, not forming, not sticking it out. I don't know what haranai here is supposed to mean. Hikigiwa. Maybe this will help. Okay, that did not help. Hikigiwa. Being on the edge of pulling. I want Giwa. Let's see if we can find, this is not off to a good start. This chapter is going to be very long, and this is not helping. Okay, so I can't get this to show up. So this is like on the edge of pulling, or at the time or the moment of pulling, not knowing, from people not knowing. Being shaken off, thrown off. Okay, so as for society, it goes and is shaken off, thrown off from guys that don't know Hikigiwa, and guys that aren't able to fix big. Okay. Oh, okay. I get it. So the English went with society tramples on guys who can't bet big and guys who don't know when to quit. So as for society, like, steps on guys that don't know, like pulling back from the brink. That's when not knowing when to quit, and guys that aren't able to bet big. For whatever reason, haru here means to bet. I'm not sure why, but that seems to be the meaning. Okay. ギャンブルをしていない人間なんていないのさ. Humans not doing gambling or whatever don't exist. So there's no humans that don't gamble. Double negative. 奴らが憎んでいるのは賭け事ではなく、敗北と破滅だ. Yeah. Those guys, as for the thing doing to testing, gambling itself is not, it's defeat and destruction, annihilation. So those guys don't hate gambling per se, or gambling itself. What they do hate is defeat, losing. They hate losing and loss, destruction. Dekiru dake odayaka ni kurashitai hito mo iru n ja? So Itarori is trying to infuse a little bit of reason here and saying, as much as possible, peacefully wanting to live people also exist, right? Nna yatsu shiranai ne. So nna here's like somna. Those types of people, I don't know. I don't know anyone like that. Ore wa netsu o aishiteru. So he repeats himself, as for me, I do loving of netsu. I love fever. I love the heat, the passion. Netsu wa gyamburu de gyamburu wa jinsei da. As for netsu, it is gambling, and as for gambling, it is life. Soshite ai to wa shihai da. And in addition, as for the thing called love, it's control. Yeah, you get it. This is good to get this guy's life philosophy. This is a very interesting take on that idea. Ore wa yuku yuku Paito Karabu de kono kuni no netsu o shihai shitai. As for me, yuku yuku. on the way someday. As for me, someday, through the Fight Club, the gambling match, whatever, through the Fight Club, this country's Netsu want to do controlling. So as for me, someday, I want to control this country's, well, he says Fight Club. No, this country's Netsu by using the Fight Club. Okay, we're getting some. Oh, I guess this is still him talking. It looks like it's a narration, but it's not. 呪霊の存在が公表され、総幹部もろくに機能していない。今が事業拡大のチャンスだ。Okay, so the existence of cursed spirits publicly being done, or public announcement being done. So the public announcement being done of the existence of cursed spirits, and the Sokanbu, again, is the term for the Inspector General's Club, the upper ranks, the headquarters for sorcery. Even that, roku ni kino shitenai. This is like basically not functioning properly. Yeah. Satisfactorily, ability not doing, not working properly. So even the headquarters, the higher ups not working properly. Now is the chance for like work expansion. Yeah, enterprise business expansion. So now's my chance to expand my business, in other words. あらゆる生涯を潰しきたる呪術規定の改定に乗じてファイトクラブの存在を公に認めさせる。Okay, so all of the so like crushing all of the damage? What is kitaru as a suffix? I guess this is like, yeah, so doing crushing of all of the damage. The sorcery kite regulations. Kaiteni. Revising? Yeah, revision. Jojite. Taking advantage of the revisions of the sorcery regulations and the Fight Club's existence, acknowledging it like publicly. Oyakeni. Yeah. Okay. Does Shogai, what else can Shogai mean from like damage? Obstacles. Okay. So yeah, this is like crushing every obstacle and like making confirmation publicly of the existence of the Fight Club and taking advantage of the revision of the sorcery regulations. Okay. To ni mo kaku ni mo yūshū na koma ga iru. Okay, so an excellent game piece is necessary. And this is some sort of expression. Something about the rabbit and the Tonimo. Yeah, so anyhow, in any case, it's some sort of expression about the rabbit and the antlers or the horn. But anyway, it means anyhow, generally speaking, an excellent koma is necessary. And again, a koma is like a pawn in shogi. So he's talking like a playing piece on the board. Itarori. So that's what he's looking at him for. Ore no netsu ni ukasarete minai ka? So Itarori, into my netsu, into my fever, will you not try floating? Will you not try floating in my fever? Okay, so this thing tends to mean to float. In the sense of ukasareru, it means to get carried away, to be delirious. Won't you try doing that into my fever? no hanashi o suru no wa saigo da. As for talking about the technical school, it's the final. So meaning like it's the very last. Domoto is just what was it, boss? Yeah, bookie, manager. So Itadori is thinking back to Fushiguro's advice on what to do. And Fushiguro had told him basically bring up the topic of the technical school last. Soldanga. As for a discussion, peppenko. No. Pickle pen. Pimpeckle. Pen. That's his phone. Pickle pen. Pimpeckle. Fuzai. Like not present. Something. Oh, receiving. So like not present, receiving. Like missed call. Itadori. Nanika nomu ka? Something will drink. So you want, like, will you drink something? Ja tekito ni sake igai de. Well, like appropriately outside of sake. So outside of alcohol. Gigi. What? What's making that sound? Nanda, what? Yowai no ka? Weak? Weak one? Weak? Tsuyoi yowai izen ni mi seinen. So like before being weak or strong, which I guess is maybe about handling liquor, he's saying he's underage. Mi seinen. Kini suru taipu nya mienei na. Being as for being the type that minds, that cares, that does caring, not visible. You don't seem like the type that would mind. Shiteru ka? Knowing, familiar? Do you know? Gojo Satoru mo gekko nanda. Gojo Satoru also is gekko. Gekko. Lower door. What does that mean? Someone who can't drink. So did you know Gojo Satoru also can't drink? Toku. Hey, huh? Gojo te dare? Saying Gojo, who? Who's Gojo? Teuka mo te ore wa betsu ni. I mean, mo, saying mo, as for me, it's otherwise. Oh. Okay, so he's talking about this mo. So he's like, so, I mean, saying mo also, as for me, I'm someone else. Anona, yeah, you know. Gojo Satoru wo shiranai jutsushi ga iru ka yo? Gojo Satoru not knowing sorcerers exist. So do sorcerers exist that don't know Gojo Satoru? Nande shiranai furishita? Why not knowing did pretending? Why are you pretending not to know him? Goku, Goku, Goku. He's just chugging the drink. Kan. Omae, kosen no mawashimon ka? You are a technical school's mawashimon. A rotating thing. What is mawashimon here? Oh, a spy, secret agent. Are you a secret agent, a spy of the technical school? Really, mawasu can mean to... Okay, it's got some unsavory meanings as well, but... Okay. Kite! Listen. Ore wa, as for me. All right, the jig is up. That would be him throwing the hakari, throwing the glass at Itadori. Oh, okay. So he's making a movement with his hands here, and suddenly this pa are these doors like popping into existence, like metro subway doors. Presumably going to like chop him in two. So apparently this is part of his technique. Ban. Oh, wait. So he's trying to say, Choto, wait. Ki. And again, listen. That's him blocking. Okay. They're fighting. Okay, so that's him hopping up on the desk. Ki. All right. So he's trying to say, listen again. And now these things are like about to chop his head off. Gukyu. Kirara kara no teruban de no chakushin wa na. So, okay. From Kirara, a telephone number's receipt. As for that, you know. Teruban. I guess that's a telephone number. Teruban no chakushin. Yeah. As for like receiving a telephone number call from Kirara, you know. Oh, cough. Baki. Punch. Ijo jitai no aizu nanda yo. Abnormal situation sign, signal it is. So it's a sign that something's abnormal. Ijo. Yeah, anomalous condition. Ijo jitai. And aizu is just a sign or a signal. Bogu. It's him blocking, I guess. Okay. He's flashing back to, I guess what, this is Fushiguro talking. Oretachi wa akumade Hakari-san ni kyōryoku o onegai shi ni kiteru tachiba da. As for us, it's the standing point of coming to request cooperation of Hakari-san in worst case. Or it like the bitter end. So the bitter end, we're at the standing point of just coming to beg for his cooperation. Gui, grab. So in other words, Itadori doesn't want to hurt. Well, never mind there. Gon. Kike yo, listen. Yada ne. Samecha matteru kara na. So no, it's no good, you know. Like as for cooling down, that's why. Samechi matteru. I'm cooling down, that's why. Meaning he's losing his fever. Okay. How much do we have left here? 1, 2, 3. 5 pages left. Going back to them, some weird stuff was going on with Kirara's ability. Kochaku joutai. It is a kochaku condition. Stalemate. Stalemate circumstance condition. Choudoi. It's like perfect. Oh, meaning like they're stalling. Kirara-san. So Kirara-san, 俺たちは今正確には交戦側ではありません. As for us right now, as for towards like accurately, as for on the side of the techno school not existing. So right now we aren't technically, well, we aren't exactly precisely accurately on the side of the technical school. Tokyo ga genjou dou natteru ka shitemasu yo ne? Tokyo, the present circumstances, how it's becoming, familiar, aren't you? So you know how it's becoming with the situation in Tokyo, right? Kakuchi de 発生している結果へも無関係じゃない. In every land, the doing, appearing, or outbreaking magical barriers also, without relation, it isn't. So double the negative here, meaning it isn't, there isn't no relationship, meaning there is a relationship with the magical barriers that are breaking out in every place, every land. Mizo no Jujutsu tero ga attan desu. Mizo. So unprecedented. An unprecedented terrorist sorcery attack occurred. It was unprecedented sorcery terrorism that occurred. That's what it is. Hakari-san no kyōryoku ga hitsuyō nan desu. Mr. Hakari's cooperation is necessary. That's what it is. Sochi ga saki ni watashi tachi o habutan jan. Okay, that direction, meaning like you guys, your side, previously we did a haburu. Excluded, left out, didn't you? So your side, that side, excluded us previously or earlier. Jigo jitoku desho. One self-work, self-receipt. Okay, this is like you get what you reap what you sow. Jigo jitoku. Yeah, paying for one's mistakes. Getting your own just desserts. Dakara kosen machi janai te. Ogawa. That's why technical school side, it isn't said. So yeah, like that's why I said we're not on the side of the technical school. So yeah, he was trying to distance themselves from that idea that they were excluded, left out. Remember that Hakari was expelled, basically suspended from the school. 何があったんですか? With the uppers, with the higher ups, what occurred? What happened with the higher ups? 保守派と揉めたんだ. With the protection faction? With the conservation? With the conservatives? This again is like a faction or side or group. Mometa. Disagreed. So had a disagreement with the conservative faction or the conservatives. そんで、保守派の保守ってのは何も規定に対してのスタンスの話だけじゃない。And like, それで, so, and with that, like by saying that, the conservative group's conservation, as for saying that, the Hoshu part of the name, nothing, Kite, that was regulations, right? So, like, towards no regulations, opposing, stance, story, just story, it isn't. So it's not just a story or just saying it's a stance of opposing, I guess, the regulations of like conservative. Okay. Jujutsu とはこうあるべきみたいな思想があんだよ. As for the thing called sorcery, this way ought to be, this way ought to exist. Seemingly ideas, I guess, exist. Okay, so presumably he's talking about the Hoshu hole. That the Hoshu hole has ideas, dreams, ideals, like this is how sorcery ought to be. Kukisaki no jutsushiki nanka ga wakariasui hoshu ha gonomi no jujutsu rashi jujutsu da. Okay, so Kukisaki's sorcery and things like that, easy to understand, conservative factions liking, gonomi? Yeah, being fond of, seeming to be sorcery. We're getting an image here of Kukisaki with her style of sorcery, kan. Gosh. So there again, like this is like ideas of what sorcery ought to be. It's sorcery that seems like sorcery of the conservative faction, like to their likes, easy to understand, that sort of sorcery like Kukisaki's. Mukashi ha yatta. Mukashi hayatta. A long time ago, the flow went. What does this mean? Hayaru is to be popular, to be prevalent. So a long time ago was prevalent, was popular, Noroi no video, the cursed video, Tokasa, and things like that. Jidai ga susumeba, the generations or the eras when or as they advance, jutsushiki datte new teku to karamu koto ga aru. Okay. The thing called sorcery with new technology, like combining events, exist. karamu should mean to like combine, entangle, to entwine, right? Okay, so again, like a long time ago, popular cursed videos and things like that, the time, era, generations, when it advances, if it advances, the thing called sorcery, there are times when it combines with new technology. それが術式にまで及びと保守派はうるせえのよ. And that thing, meaning sorcery combining with new technology, made oyobi. So to the point of techniques as well as, no, what is oyobi here? Made oyobi. Oh, it's not oyobi, it's oyobu. To reach. That thing, that thing, when it reaches to the point of techniques, the conservative faction gets noisy. Urusei no. Okay. 金ちゃんの術式はその典型だからね. As for the technique of Kinchan, that 10K, which we saw already, was what? That 10K, it's because it's that 10K. Oh, that type, that pattern, that archetype. Okay, so Hirada here is saying basically Kin Hakari's technique is this type that this group doesn't like. Okay. 上のバカどもそんなんだから負けんのよ. でもさ, the higher up idiots, that I guess like they're that sort of a way, or they're that sort of a thing. That's why they lost. But あんたらは as for you guys, あなたらは as for you guys, 五条悟にいくらでもケツ吹いてもらえるじゃん. By Gojo Satoru, always wiping the ass, being able to receive. You guys, Kirara is lumping them in with the technical school, the higher ups. So you guys always receive wiping of the ass by Gojo. Wiping of the ass is a phrase that means like cleaning up your mess. Ketsu. Oh. This should be right. Yeah, that's what it is. Wiping the ass. 私らに頼る意味がわかんない. This is Kirara still talking. From us or by us, requesting meaning, don't understand. So I guess I don't understand the meaning of requesting to us. ってことは, as for that event, as for talking about this thing, 頼ってきたのは嘘で他に目的があるって考えるのが普通じゃない? As for the event of requesting, as for the event of coming and requesting as a lie and other aims existing, thinking that's normal, isn't it? So isn't it normal to think that there's other objectives and that you're lying by requesting something? 五条先生は封印されました。だから負けたんです。As for Teacher Gojo, sealing has been done. He was sealed away. That's why we've lost. That's why lost. Failed. Okay. Shinjite ne na. Not believing. Ma kimochi wa wakaru kedo. Well, as for the mood or as for the behavior, I understand, but demo, kono hito wa Hakari-san ni ichiban chikai hito da. However, as for this person, to Mr. Hakari, the most closest person is. So this person is the closest to Hakari-san. Okay, Fushiguro is doing the rabbit. Dato. So escape rabbit. Po, po, po. Usagi, rabbits. この人を説得できれば、はかりさんとの交渉が楽に進む。Okay, this is him like breathing or something. Anyway, this person, if able to do settoku, persuasion. So if we're able to persuade this person, meaning Kirara, Kolsho, negotiations with Mr. Hakari will proceed more easily. Rakuni, calmly, easily. Okay. All right, there we go. That is the end of the chapter. Okay, so this is that is Kirara in middle school. So that is this person back in middle school. All right. Okay, we're gonna see some stuff. Okay, that was chapter 155. Next time, 156. Maybe we'll start to see what this whole star thing is about with Kirara. We'll see what that's about next time.